Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Hearts of Iron 4 Waking the Tiger, playing as the German Empire trying to reform the Holy Roman Empire, which is going to be a little bit awkward. We're actually going to go ahead and stop training these divisions because I just had a thought. If we do end up having problems with the Netherlands giving us back the Kaiser, I don't know how it calculates this decision, but it might be based in part on my military strength, which could mean that we actually have to delete my army in order to get Amsterdam to not return the Kaiser so we can have Wilhelm III. That is a necessary step to reform the Holy Roman Empire. So what we're going to do is we are going to train divisions, but we are not going to deploy them. And we'll go ahead and train up some motorized here as well. We could... So we already edited up the Mountaineers and found that didn't work. We don't need to train any more of those. That's already done. That damage is probably done for at this point. So yeah, we're just not going to set a location. We're going to have these guys as a backup so that if I end up having to disband my entire army to make that work, we can. And then we can immediately redeploy some troops. All we're doing really is costing me some time. Let's actually just go ahead and make like 20. You know, a lot of divisions here. A lot of divisions here. We can't, actually. We have not enough manpower? Maximum manpower in the field. Oh, really? Okay, well, when I disband these troops, that's not going to matter, but that's fine. Modify governments. We are going to go for the Captain of Industry so that we can build... Actually, no. We're going to go for the Krupp, Industrial Concern, which is going to reduce the research time for more industrial tech. We are getting close to 1937, so we can research that pretty soon. I am going to need some more oil. One thing we could do if we wanted to is build some refineries, which will give me the oil and the rubber that I need. And I actually am going to go ahead and queue a few of these up. Because we do know that the German war machine is always starving for more oil and rubber. And as we continue to expand and things like Romania and stuff stop trading with us, then that gets harder to have. So having refineries is not necessarily such a bad idea. I am tempted to try sending down some troops to Republican Spain and help the communists to win. Problem is I can't until we have 20% world tension, which we currently do not have. Unfortunately. And you might say, why do you want to help the communists? Reason being, I know that there's a national focus down here called the Iberian Problem, which gives us an annex war goal against Republican Spain specifically. So yeah, if we want the communists to win, and we would help them win, so that someday I'd be able to backstab and kill them. That would be the idea, but I can't do anything without world tension. Let's go ahead and research radio detection. Actually, wait, no. We want to move toward research because it's December 10th. Let's go for construction tech and switch this over to, let's say, improved machine tools so we can get extra production efficiency cap. That should be pretty useful to me. It's close enough. We're not that far ahead of time. We might as well. Plus, we have the 10% research reduction, which should make things a little bit easier. Autarky is done. Good. Let's go for the Kaiser Werke. How do you say that? Kaiser Werke? Werke? Civilian factories, whatever it is. We can't actually return the Kaiser until we have 40% non-aligned, so we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer on this. But eventually that's going to be quite nice. Autarky, of course, giving us some extra factory construction speed, which will make things really easy. In terms of logistics, we are mostly missing out on some infantry equipment and motorized. Eventually, I am going to want a lot more artillery, so let's prep that. All of these will be good. Let's go ahead and get the last round of motorized done, but then, yeah, I think we focus on artillery from there on out, because I know I'm going to want all of that. All right, we're actually starting to catch up pretty nicely on a lot of this stuff. It's all about getting the motorized at this point, but again, we're not going to deploy anything. Just have them trained, ready to go, until we can know what's going to happen with the Kaiser. By the way, periodically, I am going to be stopping what I'm doing and saving, because we need to watch for the Hindenburg event. The Hindenburg cannot blow up if you want to form the Holy Roman Empire. I know. It's insane. It has to survive. The Hindenburg is actually now a major part of the game. Ironic, isn't it? And I won't spoil why that has to happen. But you have to have the Hindenburg. It needs to live. Alright, so all these troops have nothing to do right now. There's nothing I can do about anything. Without more world tension, I can't declare wars. I can't do volunteers. I can't do anything fun at all. Worker conditions, stability, factory output goes down. Meh. Promises of peace. Ban fascism. We don't need to lose the stability, though. It's going to go away on its own. Could reduce support for a few different things, but then we lose stability, which I don't want to do. I really don't like the decision mechanic in Hearts of Iron 4. I thought I really would like it, but thus far, I find like 90-some% of them I don't touch, because they're actually usually more harm than good. It's just not worth it to me, so I don't. Sad, isn't it? All right. Planes we have nothing to do with. Ships, we are still building up a few more. We actually managed to build ourselves another battleship, which is fantastic. We have construction tech done good. We're producing about 1 per year, which is not much. Eventually, we're going to want to start building a lot more dockyards. Just not this second. Let's go for elastic defense, because that's still quite good. And let's go for the concentrated industry so we can ramp up even more of our production. Construction being done, of course, is quite helpful. Kaiser is done. Now we are going to go for the Wilhelm Wagen. Or however you say that. Wilhelm? I know Wilhelm. Wagen? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know what any of this is supposed to mean. I don't know the German. Yeah, we don't have 40%, so we can't do a return to the Kaiser quite yet. So let's go ahead and get 6 more civilian factories and take a quick break to save. There we go. Can't have the Hindenburg blowing up on me. There's a very good chance that it does. There's so many events here that you have to rely on the like slim chance of things working out. We actually are very close to getting the 40% that we need. By the time this is done, we should be able to go for the Return the Kaiser event. And then it's just a question of how do we get the Netherlands to refuse? How indeed do we do that? One thing I want to do is actually improve relations with the United Kingdom, because there will come a stage in this whole chain of events where we need the United Kingdom to like me. So we're going to go ahead and do that next. Field hospital's done. Sweet. Let's go for, let's see, 1937 currently. We could go for some better interwar artillery. I'm going to go ahead and grab the radio detection just because that's something I often put off and is usually something that I really want because air superiority turns out pretty good. So I would like to have that. Could deploy my units. Not going to. Not going to deploy any units at all. I can't even train up anymore, so this is literally the best I can do. If we have to delete my army, I'll have 25 units ready to go immediately. We'll get all the equipment back, though, so it won't be that hard. It'll just take some time to train people back up. We'll get all the manpower, all the equipment I can train back up, some tank units, and so on. Not that big a deal. Modify government. We are going to go for the captain of industry to get better refinery construction speed in addition to civilian factories and so on. Make these a little faster so we don't have to rely quite so much on foreign nations for our oil and our rubber, since we know we're going to need a lot of that. At least that's the thought process. We'll see if it actually works. I don't know. This is a weird run. The Holy Roman Empire is not exactly the easiest thing to start. We're going to have to own things like Bohemia and Austria. We're going to have to own northern Italy. We're going to have to own Alsace. We're going to have Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, all this under my control. Everything except for Switzerland, I think. Actually, maybe we need Switzerland. I don't remember. Well, all I know is the most challenging part is just getting to the point where Victoria is the Kaiserin. If you can't do that, then it doesn't matter. Nothing else you do matters. All right, so we're already working on that. Let's go for the interwar artillery. We'll start upgrading that. Artillery, of course, is quite good. Lots of early game soft attack makes me a happy, happy man. We have a bit of army experience. I'm going to go ahead and edit up my regular infantry. And we are going to remove a couple of these guys and replace them with artillery instead. Costs me nothing. And then we'll throw in... I can't throw anything else in. All right, I was going to say we want the recon, the field hospital. We don't want support anti-air, but eventually we'll want support anti-tank. For now, though, this is the best we can do. So let's go ahead and do this. We're switching over to creating a lot of artillery now. Okay? So we have a huge deficit of 2,500, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine with me. We're producing as much as I can, at least for now. And we'll just keep ramping it up because we're Germany. And Germany turns out quite industrious. Quite industrious indeed. All right, how are we doing on this event? Wilhelm Wagen is about to be done. Thank you. Indian National Congress has triumphed. Good. The Hindenburg event should fire any time now. The extra research slot is tempting, but we are Germany and we did start with 4, so it's not a big deal. Let's go for returning the Kaiser, which is going to increase world tension by 5%. And then we have to find a way to get Wilhelm III, which I don't think is going to be impossible. Just... you know, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I really should go onto the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki or Reddit, see if there is any sort of indication as to what determines... There's the Hindenburg. Damn it. All right, good thing is I just saved 30 seconds ago, so now we reload. See? Didn't lose... it fired immediately again. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we timed that well. Let's just keep going. Instant Hindenburg? There it is again. Wow, 3 times in a row immediately. I'm glad we timed this the way we did. Hey, the Hindenburg incident, but this time it didn't burn up. Okay, that only took like 13 reloads. Good. Okay, so the Hindenburg is alive. Good. That is absolutely imperative because we're going to use it later. And of course, I had to save my game real quick because who wants to go through all that all over again? All right, Return of the Kaiser. This is the next big step. So we're going to sit back and wait until this thing is done. I'm not going to deploy any of these troops. How are we doing in terms of logistics? Still trying to produce our artillery. Could use a lot more. We'll go ahead and ramp that up. don't think we need this much infantry equipment, so let's go ahead and reduce this a little bit. Bump you up to top priority, and then after that's done, we can go ahead and start producing more infantry equipment. We are not quite caught up in terms of motorized, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Actions, no, I should just get rid of that. I really don't care. I just don't care about decisions. They'll be important for, like, forming nations and stuff, but other than that, ugh. And command power, I know I need to use it more. I know that it's smart, it's got a lot of different bonuses, you should do it, like this right here, we'll do that, and you can have Fortress Buster as well. Like, I know you're supposed to do things like this, it makes your generals better. It's just really annoying. Reinforced rate, division recovery rate. We'll give you probably charismatic or something. I don't know. Doesn't really matter all that much. Yeah, I just... And I don't like promoting generals up to field marshals because field marshals aren't as good anymore. You only need like 1 or 2 for the entire game, and they lose stats across the board. -1 and everything. So it's just not worth it to me. It's really just not worth it to me. Whatever, anyway. All right, Return of the Kaiser. We are only a month away, approximately, from having this event, which means we are about to have that moment of truth as to whether or not I can indeed has Kaiser. Can I has Kaiser? Maybe. Maybe. 8% world tension right now. Italy, are you doing anything? Modernized artillery. They refuse to do anything. Without Hitler to back them up, they're just freaking terrified. Marco Polo Bridge incident. I'm hoping the Japanese are going to do something. Republican Spain is still not quite winning. How are we feeling with these guys? We did not improve relations. Right, we need to improve relations with these guys. I forgot to do that when I reloaded. Looks like Chamberlain is in charge. Okay. I think we should be able to get you to like us for a while, though. That's not a huge deal. We can do that. Amelia Earhart successfully circumnavigated the globe without dying this time. Good for her. That's awesome. All right, we'll save right before we get to the end of this, probably at about like 66 days or something like that. Like right now. I'm going to go ahead and save, and if we have to reload, we will. Okay, Return of the Kaiser. Here comes the event. Netherlands is going to have to decide whether or not to do it. Now we can start working towards some other fun things. I wouldn't mind going for focus on the enemy and stuff, but for now, I think the priority is going to be get that extra research slot so we can have a strong technological advantage over our opponents. Netherlands, what say you? Leadership purges in the Soviet Union is not what I asked about. The Kaiser returns. Darn it. Okay, we're going to have to reload and keep doing things until they refuse. Well, it's been a few attempts and nothing is working, so you know what? Disband all units ever. All units disbanded. Germany has completely demilitarized. Now let's see what the Netherlands decides to do. 70 days, Return to the Kaiser's done. Good, let's go for the extra research slot. And leadership purges, yes, and the Netherlands prevents the return of the Kaiser. The dastardly Netherlands, having so long nobly offered Wilhelm II refuge, have now blocked the Kaiser's attempts at crossing the borders to Germany and have escorted him back to his residence. Durn, however you say that. The Dutch cite concerns for the stability of the continent as their reasons for denying the Kaiser's return to the German throne. So we could immediately declare war and try to get Wilhelm, but we're not going to. Instead, we are going to accept Wilhelm III as our leader. Popular figurehead, stability plus 5%. The old Kaiser may well be able to aid his son in his rule. There we go. All right. We have a new leader, Wilhelm III. And now it's time to start remilitarizing. Let's go ahead and redeploy these troops. Hi. Redeploy these guys. Hi. And the Netherlands blocks the return. Yes, not long after the German Empire lifted the exile, in a surprising announcement, Dutch authorities blocked the Kaiser's motorcade. Destabilizing, we already saw this. A German response to the crisis has yet to be made. It did. We made a response. We crowned his son instead. And now we have 24 troops once again. Hooray! Turns out that wasn't too bad, right? That was pretty easy. Let's go for you. And then we're going to have to set up a field marshal again with, let's say, where are they? You. And now we just need to keep training up more troops, which shouldn't be too hard. There you go. A few Panzer tanks set up over here, and we should be able to rebuild a lot of this pretty quickly. Whoa, a lot of things just happened. Chinese United Fronts. Oh, okay. So, yes, the Chinese are now trying to defend themselves against Japan, who... They are not at war with Japan, but there is a war goal. But yeah, they just created their own little faction over here. All right, well, we'll see what Japan does with that. 20%? Oh, good. We can finally start helping Republican Spain and things. If only I had 50%, because then I could start justifying war goals against the dastardly Dutch. But no, we weren't able to do that. Okay, send volunteers. We need 30 divisions to be able to send. I can't even send any volunteers until I have a larger army. It's fine. We'll fix that eventually. It'll be okay. It'll be great. Let's go ahead and defend here against France or something. I don't care. It doesn't actually matter. Marco Polo Bridge Incident. Does this mean lasting peace in Asia? I don't think so. 23%, huh? Not enough. What about Italy? What are you doing? Air innovations. Why won't you freaking take over Yugoslavia? You know you want to. Have you created any world tension at all? No. They have failed to provide any world tension. What kind of freaking Italians Mussolini are you? This is a terrible Mussolini. I'm not a fan of this guy. Not a fan of this guy at all. Construction. We are working on some of these refineries, which is going to be increasing my own production of rubber and oil. Radio detection is done. Good. Next, we will go for, let's see, it is currently July. We're already done with all of that. We could go for some excavation tech for more resources, which is okay. It's okay. Anti-tank, I'm going to go ahead and research it just so we have the option to start producing them relatively soon. Could be useful. Not that I'm expecting the French or anyone to have many tanks, but the Soviets might someday. Not worried about any of this right now. Could go for special forces, I suppose. Maintenance companies make sense. Let's go ahead and research that next. Yeah, with those special forces restrictions, there's not a lot to do with these, is there? I mean, I guess we'll train what we can, but that's only 3. Doesn't do much. Really doesn't do much. We have all the equipment. We just have to wait for them to train. Huh. I don't know, man. I have no idea how that changes the balance of special forces, because that means if it's battalion-based, these little guys, it actually might be better to have smaller divisions with only like 6, maybe, battalions of mountaineers. That said, it also could make some sense to take your mountaineer divisions and only have a couple of mountaineers and a couple of infantry instead. Maybe you can water it down while still having 20 combat width? Ooh, wait, that might be true. I have no idea if that's better. Like, if I replace these with a few infantry like this, right? How does that work in terms of... I think we still have some better combat bonuses in different types. It's watered down a little bit, but we could have more Mountaineer divisions. We could have 5 instead of 3 by doing this. I don't know. I don't use special forces very often, so I really am not sure what the best strategy is. It's fascinating, though. We don't need any of this right now. Instead, I'm going to go for materials designer. Let's grab Mauser for the weapons and equipment research time, because relatively soon, it will be 1938, and we can start improving our weaponry. That should be fun. Okay, so the extra research slot is done. Unassigned divisions. Aha! Okay, let's go ahead and assign these to this guy here. We'll go ahead and set up a new general. How about... probably... Where'd Rommel go? Rommel? There you are. Rommel, you can be in charge. And we'll set up against, I don't know, the Netherlands. Doesn't really matter at this point. Yeah, okay. This is fun. Now, as far as decisions are concerned, aha, this is interesting. Okay, so there's a few things we can do here. Reinstate Prince Wilhelm's right of succession. Kaiser Wilhelm III's son was forced to renounce his right of succession by desiring to marry against the approval of the then head of family, Wilhelm II. As he has now taken over that role, he might be able to pressure his exiled father in supporting a reversal of this decision, reduces stability, change in popularity of non-aligned goes down, and a line of succession is altered. This doesn't sound very good, but this is actually necessary if we want to be able to form the Holy Roman Empire. So once I have 100 political power, we are going to pass that decision. Hopefully it works out well for us, but we have to do that. You have to take that line of events. That's the only way that we can actually have a woman inherit the throne, Victoria, once Wilhelm, like, steps down. Or dies. Or whatever. That's going to be necessary. Okay, so we have not enough divisions. We still want to help the Republicans win. They still are doing pretty well on their own, but it's taking longer than it should. Interwar Artillery is done. Excellent. So we're already working on the anti-tank. Let's go for... I don't need any of this right now. Still 1937. You know what I'm going to do? Let's switch over to Fleet and Being. Let's go ahead and change up our doctrine. I don't like Trade Interdiction. I like Fleet and Being because it makes my battleships better. And battleships, again, are the only thing that matter. So we're going to do that. The extra research slot will be done relatively soon. And then we'll be able to, I don't know, probably start doing the naval rearmament and stuff, get some extra dockyards, and also start working toward our imperialism so we can start conquering lands, which will be fun. I think. Should be really fun. All right, that's done. Thank you. Let's go for naval rearmament. Let's see, hang on. Siege of the Eastern Front would give us an option for Lithuania to give me some land for free. World tension goes up for doing this. But then you have things like Safeguard the Baltic, which just reduces communism support, then eventually do a guarantee on Finland, and meh. I don't necessarily care about any of that. We could try to position ourselves to be against the Soviet Union, but we don't want to do that yet. Because you want to do army innovations, then a treaty with the USSR, so you can get much faster tank production. It's actually really strong to do that. Naval rearmament, though, is necessary if we want to go for things like focus on the true enemy, which would give us some base war support. World tension goes up. Build up the high seas fleet. Place in the sun. Can't do this until we have Victoria in control. Once that's done, though, yeah, we could do this and start working to things like Pride of Modern Germany, prepare for the next blockade, the Central Powers, we can create factions, prepare an Italian coup, and so on. That could all be pretty fun. Not that I really want an Italian coup. I want to conquer Italy. So this may not be important. This just gets a monarchist in charge, which I don't really see the point of. Yeah, I don't want them to join my faction. We probably will never end up going down this route, except unless we want to create a faction, which is not so bad. This is the big one. Annex war goal against France and the United Kingdom. Lots of claims. We could become a proper empire by doing that. Also, rekindle imperial sentiments. Try to get the Austro-Hungarian Empire to reform and join our Central Powers. Again, not something I necessarily want to do, though. So we're going to go for naval rearmament so we can start working down this route. Or do we want to go for army innovation so we can get better tanks now? I think we're going to go down naval rearmament for now. That should be fine. How is the United Kingdom feeling? Pretty darn good about me right now. That's nice. Let's go ahead and grab a level of excavation tech for some extra resources, just so we can try sending some of that stuff off to market. It should be fine. Can't do anything, though, with my political power until we have reinstated the right of succession. And then I think there's one more event that follows after this. And that should be fun. We're actually really close now, I think, to being able to form the Holy Roman Empire. Well, okay, not form it, but at least get Victoria in control. Republicans are indeed winning their war, even without my help. Okay, not much I can do about it at the moment. I just don't have enough troops. How are we doing in terms of our deployment? Pretty good. This only happens once. These are infinite. We are producing a good number of tanks. What are we currently missing? A few light tanks and mostly some motorized, so that's not terrible. Infantry divisions, we are going to add in the Recon Company. We can't do the Field Hospital yet, but let's go ahead and do that. Make our infantry a tiny little bit better. And Republican Spain has won. Good. So with the communists in charge, eventually I will have the ability to conquer them with a war goal. Hooray! The Holy Roman Empire will be able to conquer France, Italy, and eventually Spain as well. So now we have just guaranteed we can greatly increase our land by the end of the game. 23% world tension right now. Naval rearmament is done. We are going to go for, let's see, naval effort first, and then focus on the true enemy. Maybe could do that now. Alternatively, though, really the army innovations can be good. This could be really helpful if the Soviet Union approves. This is actually huge. This gives me such early tank production. You know what? I am going to switch over to that. Let's do army innovations. Really early advanced, medium, and heavy tanks. That's what we're going to try for. It may or may not work, but we're going to find out. Almost at the 100 political power that we need in order to pass the decision, change the succession law. We are going to have to pressure our father to accept that. Of course, I will be saving right before, just in case. I don't know if this is a guaranteed win, or if there's a chance that Wilhelm will say no. I have no idea, but we're going to find out. Do I want mobile infantry or blitzkrieg? Better mobile and mechanized infantry speed and recovery rate's pretty good. Organization is really strong. Some tank organization, lots of organization for motorized. This is super good. Alternatively, though, blitzkrieg, better breakthrough for our tanks, which is excellent. Some organization there, more organization for tanks, which means they can keep pushing forever, and blitzkrieg, which gives some organization to our motorized tanks and better recovery rate. We're going to go down the blitzkrieg route. I think in the long run, we are going to go for our typical tank, like 40 combat width divisions, and see if we can use that. to beat the crud out of them. All right, let's go ahead and save real quick, because I am going to pass the succession law change. Okay, now let's press the button. Boom. Okay, now we wait until something. I think he has to accept. Well, maybe it passed. Okay, good. Now we have to modernize the succession law. The current Kaiser's son, the to-be Wilhelm IV, only has 2 daughters as heirs. We must secure the line of succession, and so the succession laws must be modernized to allow Princess Felicitas to reign when the time comes. Women may inherit the throne. All right, that's the next goal. That's another 150 political power in order to do that. But that's A-okay with me. Turns out we don't need this much rubber anymore. Thank you, factories. 22%. Claims on Yugoslavia. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start seeing some world tension go up. Carrier warfare experiments. Ooh. Japan's going to experiment with carriers, eh? Okay. Let's go ahead and set these guys all to this just so I don't have to worry about it later. There we go. Let Rommel have his fun. More things are about to deploy. There they go. Perfect. How are we doing in terms of production of our battleships? 1.61 per year. That's slightly improved. Currently have 3 battleships. Not enough to challenge the UK in any meaningful way, but oh well. They need to like me more. Let's go for even more improved relations. I want these guys to be as high as possible before we go for things like the succession laws. Excavation 1. All right. Done. It is November of 1937. We could start working towards some 1938 tech. What would I go for, though? Can't do any of that. We could go for the computing machine a little advanced, a little early ahead of time, and I'm going to. 3% extra research speed is pretty nice. We might as well. Italy announces claims. Now we're at 25 world tension. Good. Please do other things. Get it up to 50. He's still modernizing his army. Gosh, dang it, Italy. National mobilization law. I need claims. I need world tension. I can't do anything until I have 50. This is one of the reasons I have problems with playing as a monarchist. Everyone's like, oh, playing as a monarchist is really fun. Only if you're not playing as Germany so that Hitler can still do his thing. That's the only way that it's fun. Let's go ahead and take 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Actually, hang on. You guys need to train. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Where's my training options? There's a way to do it. Hang on. Wait. Where's my training options? What happened to the button to... Oh, it's up here now, right? Yes, okay, hang on. Exercise the army. Exercise. Let's get these guys to stop being green. They're really close. There we go. All right, turn that off. No, stop. Thank you. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. You guys go up to here. Thank you. Okay, no reason to have these green troops if we can fix that very easily. Cost me practically nothing. Still lacking in the motorized and the light tanks, but that's fine. We have finished the anti-tank research. Good. 1938, we are going to go for more excavation so we can get even more resources, which we will eventually send to market. I'd like to change up my trade laws to, like, free trade or something, but I can't because we're saving up for modernized succession laws, which is fun. We don't need to keep improving relations with you for a little bit. It's going down by 3 per month right now. I think we are already maxed out. I think this is the best you could ever get. So we're just going to have to sit back and wait on that for the moment. Which is fine. Doesn't bother me. Yugoslavia requests the sale of airplanes. Fine by me. I will send you bombers so I can get extra consumer good factories for half a year. So we'll just do that. National focus. Treaty with the USSR. All right. Let's go ahead and reduce our ahead-of-time penalty for tanks by a significant margin. Free civilian factories. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to go ahead and start building up some extra dockyards because I really do want to start building up a lot of battleships a lot faster. We are going to need a ton of them. Absolute ton. Okay, I think we're pretty much at a point where I can start ending this video, and I think that I will. But yeah, just need political power, modernize succession laws, and then we can continue the quest chain to become Victoria so that we can form the Holy Roman Empire. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.